You want your seat back? I'm fine with that.
No
Oh,
special
but I don't want to sit by
thanks.
that guy. Oh, just kidding.
Smile, Jane.
He doesn't even know we're talking about him.
Too busy looking at his phone.
All right, welcome everybody to tonight's village council meeting. We'll call our meeting to order here at 7:01 p.m. And I have a motion moved by Councillor Tetzel, seconded by Councillor Browning, that council adopt the agenda of special meeting SM02-2023. And we just keep in mind, we can't make any additions or deletions off the agenda because it's a special meeting, but is everyone in favor of the agenda as presented? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in favor, and against, so that's carried. And next item, are there any declarations of interest by any of the councilors in this evening's items? Okay, if they pop up, let us know. Number 5, councillor absences. I've got a motion moved by Councillor Tetzel, seconded by Deputy Mayor Tetzel, that council excuse Councillor McPherson and Councillor Hassan from this evening's special meeting, SM02-2023. All those in favor? Okay, 6 in favor, none against. Motion's carried. And moving through the agenda, we don't have any adoption of minutes this evening. And on reports, mayor report, I do not have a report to give tonight. And SAO report, acting SAO, Mr. Gass, do you have anything?
We'll just speak to maybe a couple issues, 1 or 2 issues here. Yeah, I've got a lot of complaints this week about, what's the word I'm looking for? Teenagers running wild between 1 and 4 a.m., causing a lot of vandalism and damage to both private and public property. To that end, I'll take any suggestions. We're talking with the RCP now about having a better coverage from their staff during those specific periods, because that's when it seems to be happening. Some community members have suggested a little more lighting in specific areas, i.e. street lights. I recommend they do everything they can on their personal property, cameras, so forth, and we'll try to do what we can with the public property. Street lights seem to be the big thing. We have an initiative here to camera a lot of our facilities. Rec Center is the only one that's really well cameraed, but we did have some vandalism at the library the other day, 2 windows smashed. So I think we're gonna have to camera all our facilities, if for no other reason than insurance. So as far as that's concerned, the vandalism aspect, a lot of complaints in, they're coming in literally by the hours. Other than that, obviously working quite hard on a lot of topics. One is our road bank funding that we applied for. That actually is 99% complete, and I just received it. I'll go over it tomorrow and see where we are there, but it's ready to submit to the federal government. So that was a huge one, right? It took a long time, especially to be back from the element, but we're putting all that with the application at this point. Other than that, I think I'm gonna have to hold a lot of things for later tonight in camera. We can move on then.
Okay, any questions or comments for the acting SAO? Okay, thank you for that. Under 9 tabled items and old business, I've got a motion moved by Deputy Mayor Tetzel, seconded by Councillor Browning, that council approved the 2022 financial report as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And that's accepted now, so that will allow us to get our funding flowing again. I'll submit that to our funder agency there. Committee minutes and recommendations. The item, Community Development Committee, the draft community plan and zoning. Any discussion further on that? I think we were looking at sending some comments back, right? From our last meeting here. And I don't know if we've had time to get that done, or if we were going to have one more meeting amongst ourselves and put those comments together, because that's what the consultants were waiting for, right?
So does anybody from the committee wish to speak to this one right now?
Okay. Councilor Wright.
When's the community gonna have some input into the community plan?
Okay, we'll speak to that. Just so you know, they have had the ability to put input, they currently still do, okay? It's on our website. I'm accepting actually comments and recommendations almost on a daily basis and forwarding them to the consultant. I had a long talk with them yesterday. There have been concerns. Liza had a concern that LKFN didn't feel they were consulted enough. I passed that on to our consultant. He has had 2 meetings with representatives from LKFN, but I recommended we set up an actual real meeting so they can advertise it well in advance, have as many members there as possible that are concerned with this, and get to anything they don't like. That was the same for the Métis, okay? And then if we're gonna do that, we might as well do another community meeting at the same time. There are a lot of people that kind of missed the boat on the first round of meetings. And now the message is definitely out there and people are coming up with some really serious concerns, okay? So he's working on a schedule as we speak. Hopefully tomorrow he'll have a schedule what he would recommend, and then we can maybe add to it if we feel or delete from it if we feel. But it looks like at this point, we need the consultant. I'm assuming dealing with the demographic, I'm thinking in person meetings. It's the only way it's gonna work. A lot of people can't function to the level they should or communicate to the level they feel they need to in a Zoom meeting or an electronic meeting. So I really think in-person meetings are the way to go with this, especially in this type of community. So that's where we are there. The consultant fully understands it. He'd like to move things a little faster, obviously, but we're paying the bill. And if we deem it necessary for certain meetings to take place to make people happier, so it's at least guaranteed they are informed and have been consulted to the degree that's necessary, then so we pay a little more money if that's the case.
Yeah, Councilor Brown.
Okay, I thought, I was like looking at this and it said committee minutes recommendations. I didn't know, cause I think I sit on that committee.
You were all here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought okay, so I'm confused because I thought where we left off was we were going to do a community meeting.
Right, so
Okay.
that's being organized at present.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna go, but not just a community meeting, a meeting with all the large stakeholders.
Yep,
right?
yep. And
That's the deal.
and
So
a
I-
community meeting.
Right, exactly.
For
3
our,
separate meetings, right? One with
A
LKFN
minimum of
membership,
3.
one from
And
Métis.
then if you
And then
guys want one for yourself, another hit at the table, that's not a problem either.
I think we need to have a community one.
And I'd like to be invited to the other meetings, right, with the band, with the Métis.
If they'll invite you, I guess.
Try council.
What's that?
If they'll invite you.
Well, see, these separate meetings,
Yeah.
Then you don't really
yeah,
hear
I
what's going on.
see how the separate meetings go. And it's good to divide and conquer.
That's,
Right.
yeah, no, I actually agree with you there,
But-
but maybe they should be group meetings the thrust will be for one group, but everybody should be invited. I'll talk to the consultant about that. I'll talk to the other players too. I think they'll be open to that, that's for sure. It makes absolute sense.
Okay. So that's being followed and followed up on. So any more comments on that? Okay, that's basically what we were asking for. Then 11, new business. Sorry?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Community banking services, now, that was an issue, but it isn't an issue right now. So I think we can let
We
that
had a
slide
lot
for
of
now.
discussions with CIBC and what they could do, and I think that they were working their
I
the
thought the
best they
response was
could
good.
given the situation. There was nothing I could see that they weren't doing, and they actually came through with flying colors at the end, so.
Yeah.
I think everybody's happy about that.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, thanks to CIBC and acting quickly when the community concerns were finally noted.
Is that a short-term plan or is there a longer-term action plan?
Okay, so
For staffing
I was
and-
hoping CIBC would put some public notice out, but they did inform me that we've got a short-term solution in place with
Becky?
Becky and some talent from Yellowknife that's come down, but permanent staff has been hired. They're in the process of moving here, and we should have, I don't remember the date offhand here, but within 2 weeks, we'll have a full contingent of permanent staff, 3 full-time and 1 part-time. So it's looking very good for CIBC.
Item 11B, review of the wildfire protection plan. This is on here because it's been noted that at present, we just have a couple of options for where we can spend our $1,080,000 on fire guards, but you know, there may be other areas that we also want to add to that plan that need additional fire guarding protection as well, and that would be good for if we're lobbying for more money, we're trying to spread it around the work. So as soon as possible, I was going to suggest that we ask administration to try to coordinate a meeting of community stakeholders, including ECC, the band, the Métis, village councilors, our own protective services people, and others who may be critical to coming up with the further development and identification of more fire guarding areas that need to be done. That's all I wanted to put this on the agenda for. Okay, Councilor Harris.
Just a quick question on that. Have we already applied for that money? Like, are we already approved for the $1,080,000?
Yes.
Amazing. Good work to whoever put that together.
Okay, Councilor Wright.
I was wondering who made the fire plan? Was there anybody who ever fought a forest fire or involved in that? You know, I looked at it and it's it almost looks like somebody in this office might have made it.
And DECC made it.
We have
I think
approved,
ENR made it.
we approved it, but it was originally a plan done more than 10 years ago, and that's why it really needs to be updated as well. The information was good 10 years ago, but a lot of things have changed, and it was presented, at one time it was the responsibility of the territorial government to do wildfire protection within the municipal boundaries for a wildfire. That changed at some point, and we were given responsibility, and it was like, here's the plan. And we had some concerns, we had meetings with, at that time it was ENR, so it's been a couple of years. But yeah, we basically adopted a plan with very few changes, but it originally came from ENR. And now it's time for us to start putting more of our own imprint onto that plan, I think. Yeah. So can we leave that with administration to try to organize a meeting, and we'll try to float a date around where everybody is good with it. Then 11C, we've got donation requests from LKFN in partnership with the YWCA. They're asking for some either cash or in-kind donations to help with the new women's shelter. And I do have a motion moved by Councillor Harsty, seconded by Deputy Mayor Tetzo, that council approve LKFN/YMCA NWT donation request in the amount of blank. Any discussion? Yes, Councillor Wright?
Let's give them the same amount of money we gave to the homeless shelter, about like 100, 200,000.
Yeah, right.
Seriously? When did the village?
Sadly, we gave them nothing.
Okay, well, last year, in 2022, they worked 4 months, we gave them 100 grand.
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
No, they came
We
over and
were
raised the money.
administering some funds.
We were administering the funds for them.
Yeah,
But went through the village, I just read the plan you just
Yeah,
approved, or the audit we just approved, said,
but it was never our money. It
It
was
was in
only.
and out money. It's called in and out, so it's come from somewhere else and it's going out. It's not staying.
We're just doing the administration.
Yeah, we're just processing payment.
No, I-
Did you make money
To
doing
tell you the
that?
truth, I think we made money on that.
Yeah.
We made money off the homeless.
No.
that,
Good to know.
everybody does,
Yeah,
right?
everybody does.
Okay, Councillor Brown.
I'm wondering what our budget is at right now for donations. I know before we have a policy, we have a bylaw in regards to it, I'm pretty sure, but we've been wishy-washy, I think, as going way above and going, never below. We've given out way more money than our budget allows, so I'm just wondering where we're at with that. Because by looking at our audit as well, wasn't there some stuff in that in regards to how we spend our funds? So my question is, how much of our budget have we spent already for donations for this year, and what can we afford to give?
absolutely.
Or do you want to give?
Or do we want to? I think we give a little, or even if it's in kind or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what we would have for. in
They're asking
kind.
for a lot of furniture items.
What happens with the stuff that the village utilizes for evacuees, obviously not the cots and stuff, but like, does the village purchase or is MACA lends like stuff for evacuees, or is once that's purchased by MACA, it becomes village property? What happens with that? I think
Basically-
the blankets and stuff.
In the past, sometimes MACA had purchased stuff. Right now, the process is MACA purchased their own stuff. They lend it to us, we return it after. We do have a little bit of our own. It was purchased a few years ago during the flood. So we try to maintain that in good condition and reuse that. Every once in a while, you have to toss a few little new things in, but MACA does have a good stock of stuff. As it would relate to this, nothing.
Okay,
This is strictly emergency goods.
I wasn't sure if there was like kitchenware that was used, anything like that, that we could have communicated forward, yeah. Well, I agree with Cindy, anything, whatever our budget's looking like, we'll see where we can assist.
We'll have a full report for that out to you tomorrow, and you guys can have a look over it and see if there's, what you want to put in, and we can do something on the next meeting.
We're meeting it on Tuesday anyway, don't we?
Do we have
Is,
a meeting on Tuesday?
well, that's one of the things we can't add it to the agenda right now, but I will talk to you guys about moving the next 2 meetings.
Okay.
Okay, well then, so rather than having a vote on this question, can we move to table and have a mover and a seconder? Who would like to move?
I'll move to table.
Councillor Hardesty
I'll second.
and Councillor Tetzel. Moves to table. All those in favor? 6, okay. Yes, so we'll bring this item up again at the next meeting. Next item, 11D. The Portsmouth Historical Society has sent us a letter, and I've got a motion moved by Deputy Mayor Tetzel, seconded by Councillor Harsty, that council approve the Fort Simpson Historical Society request. I think what they're asking for is a meeting in the near future to discuss concerns of mutual interest and how we can work together on mutually agreeable things. How do councilors feel about that?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, so I guess we can direct that administration maybe ask them when they could have a meeting time with us. We'll, again, try to coordinate the times, because sometimes it's a little difficult.
Would it be a meeting or a presentation to council?
I'm
or-
thinking at this, if I prep them ahead of time, we can do a presentation to council at the next meeting, that's what I'm.
Delegation.
Okay, and yeah, the way they're talking might be a little longer than the standard 15 minutes or something, so we'll just allow for that, and that's maybe why the request being made. So, okay, well then, let's just finish this resolution, have a vote. All those in favor, having this special presentation, 6, okay, none against, motion's carried. Item 11E, Shender and Sean, please remove a street light request. And can I pass that to the acting SAO for a comment?
Absolutely. So, the resident was concerned with the street light shining in her backyard. I checked it out in the middle of the night. It was terrible. Okay, valid concern. Valid concern. It turns out that is not one of our street lights. That is a privately owned street light. I talked to the owner of that street light. If it hasn't been turned around 180 degrees already, it will be. Okay, that commitment's good. So that's off the table. She did speak, the resident did speak to potentially moving it somewhere else, but it is not the village's street light. So I will discuss with her. If she really does want one in front of her house, we'll put that on the agenda with the multitude of other ones people have requested due to the vandalism going around town. So we're getting a real big request for street lights. Okay, but as far as the nuisance, that's strictly a nuisance and that's been dealt with.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments from councilors? Okay. Item 12, bylaws, we don't have any to consider this evening. Item 13, correspondence and information. We have correspondence from the Fort Simpson Métis Nation regarding fire smarting. I'll tell you the truth, I didn't even see that in the package.
It's there. Well, it wasn't in this one, but it was,
In the previous one?
yeah, and it's basically a letter in regards to a property in town that we've been discussing and their fear of that property
Okay,
for fires.
okay.
So right now, our Protective Services Viola Department is just gathering resources from the fire marshal in Yellowknife, from our assistant fire marshal here, from our Protective Services Director, to put a package together. And then we are gonna have to do one final request, and then we start laying charges. It's just as simple as that, so the tickets will be issued.
Okay, so it sounds like forward momentum on that one. Any further comments or questions? All right. Number 14, council.
Can I just make a comment? I just want to really make sure that whoever, before any charges are laid, please make sure that whoever is laying that charge is appointed under the right legislation to be able to lay that charge,
Absolutely, that's
so that we don't lose that
what's
right off
going
the
on
hop.
right now. Yeah, it's done,
Okay.
nice cross the T's, you got it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but thank you for explaining.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah. So 14, council matters and concerns. Maybe I'll start with Councillor Wright. If you have any matters you want to bring to our attention?
The stormwater drains, are we gonna do something besides put up pylons?
Yeah, they were supposed to be concreted in this year. Our guys just didn't get to it. Basically, you know, they're cast frames, and they had a grill on the curbside. The grills get smashed out by the grader. So what we were planning to do is just tack weld some rebar in there, form them, cast them. We don't need those back drains. Those are generally designed for communities that have a lot of deciduous trees, you know, a lot of leaves on the road. If the grade drain plugs, it'll go over into there. They shouldn't have never been installed in this town, they were not necessary, they keep getting damaged, we're tired of throwing money at them, we're concreting them in, so you'll just have the drains on grade, but not the curb drains. I'm quite sure this is not gonna happen this year, they'll plug with ice for the winter, and it'll have to be dealt with in the spring.
It was brought up last May.
Absolutely, absolutely. Duly noted.
Okay. Is that it? Councilor Wright?
Yeah, that's the only one I did.
Deputy Mayor Tetzel?
Oh, I have no concerns.
Okay. Councilor Belfontaine?
Just obviously the issues with the break-in and stuff. I mean, there's been a lot of it, people's vehicles being damaged, you know. We've already kind of discussed it, but it's a major concern. I know we've looked at curfews before, which we're not allowed to actually do, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do besides installing more cameras. And even then, you know who it is, but it doesn't really help much if your vehicle's smashed or your house or whatever, you know. So I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have to come up with some sort of plan.
Good. Thank you. Councilor Hardesty?
Why are we not able to do curfews?
It's against human rights.
Wow, because I know even with the evacuations, that the RCMP were pushing for some curfews and stuff like that. So there was talk there, and I think that
They did
had
do
they
it
not
here.
come back,
They did do it here before too, and it was a big discussion, but
wow, I guess it makes sense. No, I don't have any concerns, same as Troy, I just wanna make sure, like, I understand we're gonna get cameras and hopefully have them on most of the buildings, maybe not even the buildings, but even just kind of in other areas where we've noticed some increased usage, I'll say. But let's not waste money on crappy cameras, like, let's get cameras that have great photos and imaging, that way if they ever
And this
need
is
to
why it
stand
has
up
been
in court.
action today, we need to have the time to research it properly.
Yeah,
We're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right, I don't wanna throw X number of dollars away and then have to redo it and spend 3 times X, I'd rather spend 3 times X if necessary upfront.
yeah, that way they'll stand up if they ever need to be used as investigative material. I know some good ones, I can tell you, Mitch.
Councilor Browning?
No concerns, just a comment, it's really nice to see the guys working on the back. I know it's maybe part of the fire break or doing some cleaning up on that back, where are we? I don't know where I am. The back here, on that back road.
Right.
It's really nice looking, it's looking nice cleaning that back area up.
Again, fire smartness.
Yeah, it looks good.
Excuse me. Okay, thank you, Councilor Browning. Councilor Tetzel, any?
No, I haven't been around, so.
Okay. All right, so with that, I think we'll bring our public section of this part of the meeting to a close. You've got to go in camera. Do you want to have a break or go right into the, right into it? Okay, we've got to turn the cameras and recording devices off. I've got a motion here moved by